Hey everyone, how are you? I just finished one of the best cups of coffee that there ever was in the history of coffee. And isn't it amazing how good you feel after you drink a cup of coffee, right? Have you ever known anyone to feel bad after they drink a cup of coffee? And I love coffee. And I don't know what kind of coffee you drink or if you even like coffee, but I'll tell you what, this is the best coffee you'll ever drink. It's called Illy Coffee, Illy, Illy Coffee. It's Italian, of course, right? All the best coffees are Italian roast. And this is espresso. So it's Illy Espresso Coffee. And I actually get it at TJ Maxx or Home Goods. They have it there most of the time, and it's usually on sale, and it goes for it's a week and a half, 2 weeks of coffee is $5, right? So, and it's literally the best coffee in the world. Just to give you a little story about that, I used to have a beautiful old house. It was built in 1929 by a luxury home builder. It was a Burma built home, incredible house, and I had all my furniture made by the Amish. I had the chandeliers were from the 1800s. I had a fountain in the front yard, a fire pit on the patio, and a most therapeutic hot tub in the world. 4-car garage, beautiful home. But I used to have workers come in and do stuff in it all the time, and it was in really, really good shape. But it needed a electrician here, or a plumber there, or a carpenter to do something. So my goal was always to get them to drink a cup of coffee before they worked on my house, because it got them in a better mood and it speeded them up a little bit, right? A little tricky there. And so they would walk in the door and I'd always say, would you like me to make you a cup of coffee? And they're like, well, no, not really. Do you drink coffee? Oh, yeah, I drink coffee. What about if I could make you the best cup of coffee you ever drank, ever in your entire life? Would you want a cup of coffee? And they go, okay, yeah, I'll take a cup of coffee. And I'd make them I'd French press them a cup of Illy coffee. And the secret was to put just enough real maple syrup on the bottom to cover the bottom of the cup, and then I would French press it. I'd boil the water, put it in the coffee grinds, in the French press. I'd let it sit for a full 7 minutes, and I'd French press it, and I'd give it to them, right? And every time after I gave them that coffee, they would take one sip of that coffee and they would say, oh my gosh, this is the best coffee I've ever drank ever in my whole life. So believe it or not, this isn't an Illy coffee commercial, but I just wanted to let you know they would do great work on my house. They would work a little faster, get the work done. And I think coffee put them right in the right frame of mind to do the best job they possibly could. So anyway, that was me and my Illy coffee. So I drank a cup of coffee today, and I really wanted to talk to you about belief, right? That was the whole purpose of today's chat. Belief is so important. What do you believe, right? You can almost never exceed what you believe you can, right? So where do beliefs come from, and how did you get the beliefs that you've got? And, are they valid? Are they, inspirational? Are they motivating? Are they realistic, right? That's the big question. And so you get your first bunch of beliefs as a kid, right? I mean, what goes on in your life, your parents, the way they communicate with you, the way they get you thinking, what they introduce you to as far as your life goes. You form these beliefs as a kid, and then obviously your beliefs mature and they change, and they can get, pretty powerful, right? But they can also be pretty limiting, right? So you really want to think about, what it is you really believe in, because if your belief system is limiting, then your potential is connected to that, and that's probably going to be pretty limiting too. So, and on the other hand, if your belief system is, exponentially big, then you're probably going to accomplish something that's somewhere around there. Now, what influences your belief? Well, your education does, right? What you learn from your teachers, right? And in college, what's amazing about college is most of the economic teachers and the business teachers that you get have never owned a business before. So they're teaching completely on theory, right? So I hope you don't take their word as the gospel, because if you do, that's pretty limiting too. But then as you mature and you get a job, and then maybe you get a second job or a third job, and maybe even change careers, your beliefs start wavering. They start changing. They start maturing. And so what I really want you to do is think about your belief system. What do you actually believe in? And why do you believe that, right? And when you think about your belief system, it's pretty much connected to your past, right? Where you are now is a result of what you believed 5 years ago and the actions you took that were connected with those beliefs. And if 5 years from now you want to be somewhere else, well, then you need to, improve that belief system. You need to alter it. You need to grow it, right? What influences your belief system? Well, your what you read, what you watch, what you let into your mind, right? And who you hang around with, right? So they say that if you take the average income of the 5 people that you're closest to, that's going to be pretty much where you're going to be. So if you don't like that, well, then change it, right? So, and I don't mean to be a jerk about it, but you have to start taking a look at the big picture eventually and figure out what you want, and anything you can believe and conceive, and anything you can believe, you can conceive, right? So it all starts with what do you want, and you get in life what you're willing to settle for, right? And what you settle for is connected with your belief system. Your belief system is really, really powerful, and it is a major influencer in whatever you're doing and where you end up. How happy you are, how much you contribute, how much money you make, the lifestyle you lead, the home you live in, the car you drive, the vacations you take. That's all connected to your belief system. So you really want to give that some major thought. And I would journal on that. I would think about that. I would, if you're not where you want to be ultimately, if you're not where you want to end up, right, then it's time to, start believing something different, right? I mean, you don't want to keep doing what you're always doing. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got, right? That's kind of how it goes. And it all starts with your belief system. So I've been going a little bit long lately. I don't want this to be to go too long. We can pick up this later, but this is a great opportunity for you to look in the mirror, sit down where it's quiet, really give it some thought, start figuring out what is it you believe in, and look at your results, because they're a major indication of what you believe in, right? And if you aren't satisfied and you want more, well, it's time to change those belief systems. So you want to get around people that will encourage you, support you, teach you, train you as far as that goes. And you also want to pick up some different reading material and, guard what goes on in your mind, and long term, it will pay off, right? And if you're not getting the results you want, that's fine. No big deal. That can be you're one decision away from an entirely different lifestyle, right? And if you don't like where you are now, consider yourself on a fork in the road, right? And if you keep going down the same path, you'll keep getting the same result. And at any time, with one decision, you can change that and head in a whole new direction, get a whole new life. All right. So anyway, I hope that helps. And I will look forward to talking to you again sometime soon.